Welcome to basic scale construction. Now, the idea of this is to start to learn how to build our major scales from scratch and knowing how to find the intervals associated with the scales. So, first off, scale is a collection of notes that correspond with a given key signature. We'll talk about how that works in just a few minutes. But the basic structure of a scale is this pattern in steps. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Whole, half, whole, half. Now the most basic structure of a scale is basically just lining the notes in line all the way from one note to the same note in a higher place. So we started on F, and now we're going to go just line, space, build all the notes all the way up until we hit the top F. And that right there is a scale. I mean, every note from F all the way up to F creates a scale. And this scale can be moved pretty much anywhere you want. It can move down here, but it still stays the same structure. Even if you drop down below, you just add the ledger lines, or you go above, you add the ledger lines to help the. So that is a basic scale construction. Let's talk about major scale building. Let's put up our scale, and let's start with the key of F. We're going to start in the key of F. So what we need to do is we need to follow the pattern that is up here. Whole, half, whole, half. Now remember, a whole step is two half steps. So on a piano, going from one key to the next key is a half step, up to black or white. That's a half step, half step, half step. This here is also a half step because there's no black key in between. If you want a whole step, you just do two of those. Whole step, whole step, whole step, whole step. All right. So let's look at our F key signature. Starting on F, right here. And we want to go a whole step, so whole step to G, whole step to A, then a half step to that one, then a whole step, whole step, whole step, and finally we end at our F with a half step. Now looking at the keyboard, there's only one that went up into the black notes. So we have either B flat or A sharp. Now this can be tricky for a bunch of people, but we have to have one of each note. We can't have two, so we can't go F, G, A sharp. It needs to be some form of the next letter, in this case, B. So in this case, this is going to end up being B flat. So let's put our flat on our B, and there you have an F scale, a proper major F scale. Right. Do another one to give an example. Okay. Let's pick G. So we're going to do key of G this time. So we start on G, whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. And we have a choice between G flat and F sharp. Because we don't have anything on the F, we know that it's going to be F sharp. And there is our key of G, with only one note again was up on the black keys. It's a little more difficult. We're going to pick the key of D flat. I'm going to start by putting that there because we know we're doing D flat, and D flat is on both ends. So make sure you put that up. All right, so let's start on D flat. Key signature up here. We'll start here. D flat. We're going to go whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, and finally half step. All right, now this time we got a bunch of notes up on top. So let's put our flats on. We have E flat, we have G flat, just reading up the lines here, 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 so I know which ones they are. We did G flat, then here's A flat and B flat. So there is the D flat major scale. D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, and D flat. One last one, we'll mess with more sharps. We're going to talk about F sharp. So move this up into the key. Let's put our F sharps on so we know right away what scale we're building. And let's build it up on the piano. So we have F sharp, whole step, or half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. All right. And this one has a little tricky one that you're going to look out for, and that is, okay, let's look at building out these. So we have G sharp, we have A sharp, we don't have anything on B, then we have C sharp, D sharp, and then, that's weird, we have F. Now, you got to think of it this way. There is no middle thing in between E and F, so from E, the note F is also E sharp. So it's a little strange. Same thing kind of happens down here with B. C is the same as B sharp. Okay, so there's that little difference that we need to know. So because we can't put two things on F, we have to put something on E, so that becomes E sharp. Now we have our F sharp scale. F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, and F sharp. Let's take a look at these using key signatures now. So I'm going to bring my scale up. Let's do a couple of ones, or something close to what we did before. We're going to start on E flat. Now I'm going to put the E flat there just so we know what scale we're working with. Now let's work it up. E flat, whole step, half step, whole step, half step. Now when we look down, we notice that there's E flat, there's a flat on the A, and there's a flat on the B. Okay, so these notes here are the ones that are going to have their flats on. So what we do, we just simply take and move those flats straight over. So here was A flat, B flat, and E flat. So there's 3 flats in the key signature of E flat. So there's our key signature for E flat. Another one. Let's pick something we didn't do before. Let's pick D. Just regular D. Let's work it out. D. Whole step. Whole step. Half step. Whole step. Whole step. Whole step. Half step. Now, without putting anything on the notes themselves, this time what I can look at is I can look down here and I see, oh look, there is an F sharp and there is a C sharp. So that tells me I put F sharp, C sharp. There's my key of D. Couple more, a little bit harder, just so we can get more chance to practice with more notes. Let's pick C sharp. Put this here, and we know that that's C. Okay, so we're going to pick C sharp major. So let's work it. Here's C sharp, right here. Whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. Now, lots of things on there. Okay, and these are going to be sharps because we wanted to see sharps. So first one we know we have C. We know we have F. We know we have D. Now, here's that E sharp again. Okay, because we had to go through E to get to E sharp. We know there's an F sharp. We know there's a G sharp. And we know there's an A sharp. Is there anything missing? Oh, yes. The other one we have, B to B sharp. B sharp. There. When we look, technically we have all 7 notes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All 7 notes will be sharped in this key. So I hope this has been helpful. Use the keyboard as much as you can when building scales. It really does help to be able to visualize what the intervals are, where the whole steps are, where the half steps are, so that you can create key signatures and create your scales without any trouble.